All right, let's continue since this is a Sunday and I'm recording it from home and tomorrow is a Monday and I need some better backend for tomorrow's lecture in mobile application. So let's work on it a little bit. So I'm still not dealing with the whole PLL and dull issues, so no repositories and stuff like that. So I'm kind of jumping around because I want to get minimal backend up and running, which I need for tomorrow's lecture. So I'll work on it. So let's see where we stopped last time. And I have done a few things after the recording. One thing is this, I have a new SQL Server connection here. So this is the local host, it's running in the Docker locally. And in the deployed server, I'm using a server there. So SQL Server is also there. But the connection string is replaced on the deployment. So it's not visible here. And one more thing I added here is this. Where is it actually here? So here is this update database thingy we did. And we have here the delete database, migrate, seed identity, and seed data. And I have written the data seeding. It's really simple. It just seeds the necessary constant values into the database. So for this GPS application, we need that everybody uses the same waypoints and location points and checkpoints. So the location types are same for everybody. So those are initially seeded into the database, so everybody can use those constant IDs for them. So either create kind of enum or whatever. So they are fixed for everybody. And basically this is it. I haven't done anything else here. So everything else is as it used to be. Oh, one more thing I fixed, which I had a little bit in bad shape initially, is this username provider, which basically takes via the dependency injection the HTTP context. And since this can be null, especially here in the startup, since in the startup there is yet no HTTP context, so this is null, and this would spoil the seeding, since in the seeding in the save database it tries to access this thingy, so it wants to get the username to store in the database. And if the context is not there, this will be a null exception because it cannot use it. So I added those question marks here. So it would fail if any of those thingies here is null, then it would fail and just return this minus sign. So the thing itself is used in the appdb context. So here. So when the data is changed, saved into database. So this save changes metadata update is done first, both in the async and in the sync case. And what it does is it goes over all the entities which the entity framework currently thinks that either need to be inserted or updated, and goes over all of them, checks for the interface. If this entity is using this iDomain entity metadata, so if this interface is there, then let's go and update those fields. So if it's an add thingy, so if it's an added entities, the new ones, then create or set values to the created at and change that fields. And if it's modified, so take the list of modified entities, and if it's modified, then update the change that and change that by field, and tell to the entity framework that please don't include created at and created by in the resulting SQL sentences. So those will be never updated in the database, even if somebody supplied new values here, and entity framework initially thinks that, hey, those are changed. Then still by the force, tell to the entity framework that go to hell and please do not update those fields. So those created at and created by will stay at the initial values. So on the created side, those are modified, and on the update side, only only they change that and change by is modified. So this is where I am, and since tomorrow in mobile application lectures we will work on the clients, but those are not the JavaScript clients, but Android application clients. So I need a pretty decent backend for them. And one thing, which is the first I think I need, is that the backend needs to be testable. It is already working kind of okay, even without DTOs. So I kind of cheated here a little bit. And the only DTOs I have here is the login and register. And maybe so, I'm not so sure the DTO name is the best, but let it be. But just now I'm using domain objects directly, which is really, really bad practice in the long run. And what I have done is this, to avoid these collections to be nulls in the JSON, or even worse, getting this circular reference exception. So I'm just added those attributes, JSON ignore. So those referential collections or navigation types are not included into the resulting JSON. So in that way, I can still use the domain objects directly as DTOs on the JSON side. This is definitely bad practice. Don't do it in real world. So this needs to be updated later on. One more thing which I need here initially, and I need also update ERD, is this, that I'm missing one parameter here, actually two parameters, which are prop, I think it's an int, min speed in seconds, and prop int max speed in seconds. So since they have the need that when the device is moving on the terrain, the device is moving with certain speed, and afterwards when I want to analyze, or when we want to analyze the tracks, we want to color code them. That is the speed okay? Is it fast enough, or is it slow? So I can show you the resulting track. I have my old broken archive somewhere. So something like this. So here is visible the color coding, at what speed I was running in the forest. So here is visible the change. So the green is 6 minutes per kilometer, or 5:30, and 17 minutes is the slow speed. So you can see that it's pretty green, but it's pretty green because the maximum is pretty slow actually. So the max should be probably somewhere here at the 10-minute mark. So 10 minutes per kilometer is kind of the slowest running speed. After that, you are already walking. So I'll ask for this speed in seconds. Min speed, so it's speed double speed. Is this okay? In minutes. Let's make this one also int. It's better to calculate. In seconds. So let's get rid of this in seconds. So it's a duration, it's a speed, distances in meters. I think this can be also be int. No, let it be double, because this is added together from all the distance measurements. But speed can definitely be in seconds per kilometer. Maybe it's still in, let it be in double, then maybe it's better for something. But it's still in seconds. So distance is in meters, climb, so it's total climb in meters, and this is total descent in meters. For color coding to track visualization. Okay, something like this, and I need a new migration for it, or to update the migration there. So everything else seems to be okay, hopefully. And now to really test it, that the API is more or less workable, I need this Swagger thingy. So we had a lecture about it, how the public REST APIs should be done. And I'm trying to more or less follow this Microsoft API guidelines and at least few important points there. And one thing is this: all the URLs, all the APIs must have version numbering. So this is kind of mandatory. And this nice principle of least astonishment. So don't surprise your users. So it's fairly easy to set up. So let's do that one. So I need this package first. Actually, I need them both. Also the API Explorer. Then we need to set it up, which is fairly easy. So this is in the startup. First to configure services. Let's add it somewhere at the end. Config. API versioning options. Okay, it's options, not config in this word. So it's an object. And there are some, options. What can we have here? All kinds of conventions, blah, 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 blah. But this report is something which is kind of nice, this one. So that one can be true. And now we need to configure it controllers. So I need this API version. So let's add that one on top of all our controllers. And this is our kind of default version 1.0. So let's make a folder here. Directory, it's 1.0. So now I can move those all here. And probably I need to fix the namespacing now. Yes. Although it looks kind of ugly. Ew. Okay, let it be. Doesn't really matter. And now we need this API version on top of them all. So it is an API controller. It's an API version 1.0. So they all have this now. And now it also needs this this thing here. So it's included in the path. So it's something like this. So pay attention to the different routing. Here the routing includes the action. So it's HTTP post to the login. So you do the login method. So here those don't have this controller part included. So they are only using this get, post, put, and etc. So the URL is actually not important, or this one is not, the method name, the action name is not included in the URL. So now I have the API version included in the path. So should be okay. And I can theoretically also include this. Will be like okay. So in the case when the new object is created, you can also send back that on what version it was created. So in all those, let's see, where's the post? Get GPS location, put, and post. So here is this get GPS location, created that action. So initially we only have this ID equals, so we also can add this. Dereference version, what? There should be a context, I think. What's this? What? Isn't there a context? Get requested API version. Which one can be null? That one or that one? Oh, okay, that one can be null theoretically. So, but for us the API version is mandatory, so it's kind of okay to do that one here. Or we can bail out of it to do something like this. So now it's a null. So we can do something like this here, for example. This is kind of weird, but it's maybe okay. So we can kind of test it, what to do with it. But theoretically we shouldn't hit this one, because for us the API versioning is always turned on. So it goes there, it goes, where's post here, put, no, what is this one? HTTP post, yes, here. And the same in the session controllers. And then we start to work on the Swagger side. So I already added this API Explorer, and now I need this swashbuckle ASP.NET Core also. In all projects, no, I want it here. What's here? Method has async overload. Don't go there. Async is add async is totally different thing. that's only needed when the async is done in the database. What's here? Those are just messages. I'm using the latest JetBrains Rider, which came out a few days ago. So, yep, it is recording. Okay, what else do we need to do? So we need this Swagger configuration options. We need to create this class somewhere. So let's see, arrows, controllers, that one can be in the startup, so in the root folder. So let's add a class interface, configure Swagger options. So it has to be derived from this one. So let's import everything. And it needs all kinds of stuff. So this is the sport map API. Copy version to string, yep, let it be, nice. And now we need all kinds of configuration for it. So in the configuring services, let's go back here. Services, API versioning, that one is there. So we need those. This is the formatting string. Yep, everything is nice here. And then we also need to set it up. So this, let's try to copy it from here. Use Swagger. So that one goes here somewhere. Let's say probably here, something after authentication. And I need to inject this IAPI version description provider here. Okay, should be. And now I need a bunch of decorations on the controllers. What do I allow? What kind of response types I will produce from the controller, etc., etc. And will be nice to add those XML comments if I turn them on. So let's see. Let's try to run it. First, I'm not commenting or documenting anything yet. Why is it starting in the edit configurations? Default. I don't want default. Please give me Chrome. Okay. So it is running. What was the endpoint? Jump. Swagger. Okay. Version regard, select the definition v1. API version. Request body. So can I try it out? So version is 1.0. Email is akaver.akaver.com. Password is something which I don't remember, as always. So let's see from the data initializers. That one is here fixed. So it's this. So execute. Is it working? Yes. User logged in. So that's nice. Hopefully register also works. And let's see, get GPS locations. Maybe even more interesting would be location types. Get. Let's see, and this one needs now authentication, which I currently don't have. So let's figure out. Execute. And we will get 401 unauthorized. So let's figure out what to do with those. So the location types actually, or now there's a few things to think about. Do I really need to authenticate to get the data? So probably the get side should be public. So this should be allow anonymous. And the same here. So both gets, so get all sessions and get single session should be accessible anonymously. So the same here. And here. So let's rerun it. And maybe the allow anonymous also needs the token type. I'm not so sure about it. Let's see, execute. Yeah, this works now. Looks okay. GPS locations. Again, no, sorry. Try it out. Execute. Version is recorded. Can I get by just with 1? Oh yeah, even 1 is okay. Version 1 doesn't have to be 1.0. Okay, this seems to be okay. Schemas. Okay, I have nice schemas. Register detail, login detail, GPS location, UID. Okay, nice. So I need to figure out how can I actually comment here. So the schemas should be more documented. So let's see what else can I do. So I should also document my stuff. So let's add this property group to get the documentation. Just a second. All right, let's continue with the Swagger. I can also open up the PowerPoint meanwhile, and I need to do this. So to enable the XML documentation generation, and you can also use this tag. This tag is exactly the same as this long one here. So I'm still sticking to the long one. So where's my rider? And I can even basically include it here. Where is my solution items? So it goes, maybe let's do another property group here. I know it cannot be like, oh wait, it can be if I'm using this tag, then it is universal. So let's generate documents in all the projects. Load failed. Good hell. Why did it fail? What do you mean failed? Can't I have this? Do I need to have it here? No? What's wrong with you? Is it not allowed to have it globally? Weird. Okay, this one cannot be used globally, seems to be. Which is kind of weird, why not? Okay. What's wrong with that one? API controllers 1.0. Everything is broken. What's wrong with you? Trade elect. GPS location. What's going on here? Why do I get those errors now? And this is how I can turn off those warnings. Let's see, let's build it first. Build, rebuild solution. Let's stop it. Build, rebuild solution. Okay, got a bunch of warnings, but yes, yep, nice. Those are okay. So those are all the warnings that I'm missing, the XML comments everywhere. So now I can just basically turn them off. So I want to turn them off here. What's the new warn? Probably I can even do it like this, I think. Let's rebuild it, see what happens. Yep, got rid of the warnings, but the documentation is generated. And now I can probably turn them on one by one with this comment on top of a specific C# file. So I want to definitely have my XML comments here, since this is my public API. So can I write here enable, like this. So something like this. So Rider seems to have few issues here. Shared. What does it have here as a problem? Actually, it doesn't have any problems. Just needed to see the files as open. Okay, let's rebuild it. Now I should have warnings. Expected disable or restore. Okay, enable restore. Okay, let's add those as a restore. Rebuild solution. Let's see what it does. Will I get some warnings? Build. Huh. Didn't get any warnings. This is not nice. Warning restore. Huh. Can't I have them turned back on one by one? Oh, I need to dig around a little bit. Small pause, I go and eat. Okay. seems to be that I cannot achieve this, that warnings are disabled globally and then enabled per file. So this warning restore doesn't work like this, like I hoped. Build, rebuild. Yep, I got no warnings. So the global one takes over. So this no warn. So one way would be that I turn it off from here. So I let it warn. Now I should get a bunch of warnings. Yep. So all kinds of visible warnings. And now I can just turn them off per file. So let's leave them on here. So all those should have it. And the rest of them actually shouldn't have this. So it was disabled. And I can't find a way how to disable them per directory. So it's either globally or then it's locally file based. So it's kind of not really the best way. And maybe it is possible somehow, but I at least cannot find it just right now. Okay, this please. Confirm email change. External login. Forgot password. Oh, that's one is already here. Lockout. Login. Login with two-factor authentication. Oh. Log out. Change password. So basically I'm disabling them in all the files because I actually want to turn this into the errors. So it tells me it's compilation error if I don't have the comments on. So let's rebuild it. How many I still have? So those are all those generated pages for the identity. Yep, that's also identity. Yeah, almost done. Not too bad. Even the program says. Okay, GPS location, account controller is mine. Okay, forgot password confirmation is the only one. Yep, those are already my own controllers, which I have to comment. So let's start with the account controller. So it complains that it needs an XML comment. So the XML comment is written with the triple slashes. No, what's wrong with you? Do you want to have it here? Oh, like this. Summary, account controller. What is it? API endpoint for registering and login. New user and user login. Actually, it's a GBT token generation. Okay. So this is the account controller. Constructor also needs an XML comment. Okay, so this one doesn't get any comments. So those need kind of no more. Login DTO. Okay. DTO permanent. Okay. So login data. Endpoint for user login. Actually, it's a GBT generation. And the same here. Good. Endpoint for user registration and immediate login. GBT generation. Okay, that one should be. Let's see, let's rebuild it. Yeah, okay, this is gone. And now I need to turn on into Swagger, so that Swagger actually includes those comments. So I need this part from here. So where is my Swagger configuration? So those go here. Should be. So let's run it again and let's see what it looks like. Okay. I have now those nice comments here. Okay, I don't have the comment here on the account, but let's see. Version, request body, login data, example is here, nice, code, got 200 success. Okay, nice. And now I have more documentation I can include. So this is what does it produce, response types, etc., etc., etc. So I can have a lot of comments here. Response code 204 doesn't exist, 404. Okay, let's see what kind of comment to actually add here. So let's Google for it. What seems to be Swagger, REST, Swagger, .NET Core comments, Swagger.NET Core XML comments. Writing XML comments, param, okay. No, that's not nice. What did I have here on the slide? Producers response type. Swagger producers response type. Producers response type. Consumes. Oh. Okay, produces, consumes. Is there some kind of overview somewhere? What is Swagger? UI. Get started with swashbuckle. So this is what we are doing, kind of. So consumes. Interesting. Is there some kind of overview somewhere? Conventions. Default API conventions put. Ooh. this is kind of complicated. Okay, at least producer's response type seems to be this type of person, and some kind of code is possible. So the status codes. Okay, even those have kind of a nice system for that. So let's see. Let's try to use them for more specific documentation. So I have, let's close all here. I have too many files. So I need this. Okay, let's see. So producer's response code, yes, please import me the status codes. And I can have the okay, I can also include some kind of type here, type of person, although I cannot have the type here. Okay, then we have the not found, so let's add the status code. Let's see, what do we get? Unauthorized, found, forbidden. First not found, okay. Status code 200 oak, not found. What else do we have here? Not found. And not found, and okay. And when it's okay, then it's something like this, which I don't have kind of response type for. So maybe I should have. So I have this login detail. Okay, let's try what I have here. So not found is okay. That one I do have here. And I have okay, that one, and I have pad request also. Which one is pad request? Interesting. Oh, 400 is pad request. Okay, I also have this. Alright, we produce, yes, we produce application JSON, that's for sure. And we actually also consume application JSON. Consumes. String content type is the same. Applications/JSON. And so when it's not found, then it produces some kind of message. Otherwise, it produces what? These objects with the status. Okay, probably it's fine already. Let's see. Let's run it. Does it help anything in the documentation actually? Okay, the warnings are there. Let them be, and I have my Swagger UI. Okay, account, post. Code 200 success, 404 not found. Okay. type string detail. What the hell? Example välja. Okay, this is kind of application. Okay, I can make a type here. Add request returns something. Media type application JSON, yes. Let's see here, text plain. Okay, something to JSON actually. Request body application JSON. Yes, okay, it does help with something at least. And actually what it does help is this one. So this is actually the main documentation part. So this is machine readable and you can generate your TypeScript classes or JavaScript classes based on it. So what it actually should be. So let's do this, that my Swagger UI is the main kind of thing what I should see when I open up the web page, since there is no actual web here. So let's include this welcome. Okay. So H1 display 4. No idea what is this display 4. Sport map, web and backend. So it's actually an H2, and let's add a link here. So it's the href. Oh, what the hell? So it's basically ref to here. Where's my link? Oh, I didn't have any content here, sorry. It's a RESTful API docs. Okay, H does, what the hell is this display for? Seems to be really huge. Let's go to H4. And now what I also need, okay, I have the link here. This is nice, okay. Is this that when I get the locations, so it needs the version, let's try it out, version 1, execute. Yep, that's empty. Okay, session. Okay, location types. I have some data. No, with location types. Where's my location types? Okay, this works. But what to do with those? That when I want to access this one is okay. But when I want to access something which is protected resource, then I need to authenticate. And how can I try it out here from the Swagger? So let's try to. So let's put some simple thing back into the control. So let's take the same location types. So I have a bunch of warnings here, let them be for now. So let's make a single one. Okay, let's put this one under the control. So you need to be logged in to get the location types. So let's test it out. Location type, not post. That one here. Here, execute. 4.1 unauthorized. So I need to provide the token here, but I don't have the token. Or even if I have the token, how can I add it here? So that's a little bit more tricky Swagger configuration. It's not really tricky, but it's not really immediately obvious how to do it. So let's try it. So where's my Swagger configuration? So I need to tell my Swagger that I have some requirements for the login. So let's see, what do I have here? Services. Let's see, provider. Configure a Swagger again, options. Okay, should be something like this. Options dot add security definition. So the definition is string name is bearer. New Open API security scheme. So name equals authorization. So this is the header we are using. In is, it's not a string, it's a parameter location header. Type is security scheme type API key. Scheme is bearer. And I also can have a description here. JVT, something I can write something nicer. JVT authorization header using the bearer schema. Something like this. And then we can tell that add security requirement that we need it. So that one needs an object like this. Yep, new Open API security, and it needs a list. Okay, that one is an empty if I remember correctly. It's, sorry. So this one is actually list string, and it's just an empty one. So what's wrong with you? Method add has two. What the hell? Now it takes an object like this, and those are inside the object like this. Oh yes. Okay, and now I need here also some configuration, which is let me think now. So this is the reference, new Open API reference. So this is kind of obscure. So there's the type, which is reference type security scheme. And then there is ID, which is also bearer. And then we have here scheme. This is the OAuth2. Name equals once again bearer. And in equals parameter location header. So this should be now it. Let's see what will happen. Is it really working? Okay, something crashed. What? Nothing crashed. Okay, let's refresh it. Now I have this authorize header here. Name or header. Okay, that one I have to put here. So I need to go here. Version. So try it out. Version 1. Login data should be interesting. Can I even specify that one from somewhere? So it's an okaver.com and the password was kala.maja.2020 if I remember correctly. Was it? No. So then it was a capital M probably. No? Really? User not found. What did I do? What's my... dot initializers. Oh, okay, no dot. So now I have my token. So I can copy this value from here. Now I can go here, authorize. Paste it here, authorize. Close. And let's see, is it really working? Try it out. Execute. Version 1, execute. Success. Location types. Let's see. Authorization. Oh, okay. I need to also do this. Log out. So it should be bearer like this. So it was location types, get, execute. Yes, now it works. So I have kind of successfully added the authorization. So the only thing is I need to probably document that one here better. So let's add some more comments into it. So it's keys. So where's my Swagger configuration? So I can, let's write a little bit better documentation here. So this is interesting. Is it what kind of formatting is it? Is it HTML or is it? Just in case, let's add all. So let's move it into several lines, it's easier to read. Okay, give it authorization header using the bearer scheme. Enter bearer space and then your token in the text box below. So n plus example bearer. Let's grab them. Where's my bearer? This blah 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 blah. Let's grab this. Let's have more comments here. Return here. You will get the bearer from the what was it, account plugin? Register endpoint. So it should be something like this. Let's see. Okay, that sign is bad. So I don't need that sign here. And it's not subset, it's a pace. Space. And let's see, bearer, blah 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 blah. So maybe without those apostrophes. But can I add the bold tags here? Let's see. Okay, this seems to be kind of okay. Maybe some italics here. So let's commit this to the Git so it's get deployed, and I can see will it work also on my public host. So I'm somewhere here. Git commit Swagger. Keep push. All right, so we can see will it work. Okay, I think I'm missing the seeding, or not the seeding, but the migration, since I updated the data structure actually. So where's the, what did I do? In domain, I added few fields in the GPS session and renamed some of the stuff, so I need a new migration. Let's say currently I am using what, do I drop the database? No, I don't drop the database, so I can just add a new migration. So readme md, where's my migrations? So I need a new migration. Kind of that, but without, can I change the ordering around? Interesting. Can I do it like this? What is this now? So that was a fire alarm, if it wasn't the recording. So migrations, project, add initial. Okay, can I run it like this? No, go to hell. So it's not the initial migration. Add speed range to GPS session. Nah, can't write speed range. Okay, should be. Max speed, min speed. Yes, should be okay. That's what it should have. So let's commit that one. Migration. Git push. Okay, so where's my documentation in the ERD? Lucy chart was it, I think. So it's max speed and min speed. This is double. There's no key, and this is max speed. Also double. Everything else should be as it is. And I have defined here this track and track point and GPS session track point. I actually don't have those in the database yet. So come here. Can I move it like this and move it? What is this? Like this. So those are not yet actually defined in the database. So I have only those session, location, and location type. So the track point, and GPS session track point is for actually defining or predefining the checkpoints in the terrain. So I can get some kind of automatic validation and automatic timekeeping for in what order the points are followed through. So it's kind of automatic timekeeping system, at least theoretically. So let's see. So this one, if I say just in case, and it is shared. Anyone with the link can view. Yes, let's copy the link and let's put it into the documentation. So where's our main documentation for this one is here. Project 4, yes, Android location info. Here the schema is here. Okay. Yep, hopefully seems to be look okay. So let's write also REST. Let's written RESTful API endpoints are documented in Swagger. Testable documented in URL Swagger. Something like this. SQL Server connection is now in the local host, so that one is wrong here. And this one is also totally bullshit. So I put something whatever here. Okay. Alright, so most of the stuff is here. What else do I need for actually developing the Android application? So now the API routes are versioned. Swagger is working. Okay, I should probably write the documentation more correctly. So it is actually better documented. So let's see, what are the warnings still? Yeah, okay, all those controllers have issues. So let's see what I have done on the account controller. Alright, something like simple. So this is just a constructor. Can I even skip the params like this? So just a constructor and this is it. Whoop. And the same here. Okay, then I need a documentation here. Summary with the session controllers. GPS sessions. That one already. GPS location GPS. Location waypoint checkpoint. Locations received from handhelds. So isn't that the word, handhelds? Typo in comments. How do I write handhelds then? It is handhelds. Handheld. Test gaming handhelds. What go to hell? Or is it something like this? No. Oh, okay. Let it be. Alright, let's comment those. I don't want those comments, I only want the XML comments. Summary. Get all the GPS locations. No. This is bad. I even don't want to comment it. It cannot work like this. So this is definitely bad. Okay, allow anonymous is okay, but I definitely need here GUID, which should be the session ID. So it means this. So it takes No, it cannot be like this, because if there is a parameter, then it tries to find this single one. So no, there cannot be this parameter. There needs to be a parameter like this. GPS locations, where GPS session ID equals session ID. Let's make this one nullable. So if what hell is this? Okay. If session ID, and let's make it maybe like this. So let's return bad request. Okay, where was I? I have my kid's birthday today, so I'm running back and forth. Bad request, and I want to send back a message. Let's see, I need it so often. New message like this, and I have some kind of errors. Okay, I have a type of, so I can have several errors. Okay, this is wrong spelling. It's like this. Okay, so let's make a model for it, so I can document it a little bit better. So it's public API DTO identity. Let's add a class here. Errors DTO. No, kind of the DTO kind of gets annoying, so let's just do errors, and let's rename those also. So it's a login and register. No. Okay, and errors has prop list string. No, it cannot have like this. Property error is never used. Can it be a new list string? Yeah, but the name is wrong. Errors. Still should be the DTO. View model DTO. Login model. Oh, okay, let's put the DTO back. DTO it is then. So if there's multiple errors or a single error, which one I want? Do you want always the same model? Yeah, okay, let's use always the same model. So I have here a bunch of stuff, and let's see. Maybe it's even better if it is something like enumerable string. Leipi list. Int status code type equals type of something, so it's that one is not here, but when it's not font, then I have some kind of errors. Okay, so this is a new error DTO. Errors equals new error DTO. Yeah, okay, I'm missing this and this one. Okay. Maybe even the error detail isn't the best name. So it's message detail with messages. So it goes up to here and can you please, vabandust, kas te võiksite mu selle pealt ära minna? Te võite üleval ka minna diivani peal istuda, ma tõesti salvestan kogu aeg. Okay, I can also make a model for here, so this is some kind of GVT response. Okay, I can have it here. Bad request. So that one goes also here, and messages equals errors. Something like this, a little bit nicer. So let's make also a response for the detail. So that one is the identity model. JVT response detail. So here we have prop string token. So that one is default. And then we have prop string message, which is also default. So now I can use the correct object, that one here. So this is new GVT response detail token is this, and it's a status method. Okay, let's make a status out of it. So then it's the same here. New GVT response detail with the token and the status. So now I can really specify the types also here. Type equals type of GVT response detail. So that one goes here. And all those bad requests and stuff have the same model, so it's this type of message detail. Okay. If result succeeded. Yes, that's okay. Okay, here I can do the same system.
kuule, Kata otsib siin.
This one goes here.
Sinuga pärast koos vanni, kuni sa ette lõpetad.
Okay, my kids have the bath time, seems to be. Holy moly, yes. So what's there? Var errors, result errors. If result succeeded. So what's wrong here? Result is this. Check password. Why don't I have the errors here? Why do I have errors here? It's the same thing. Identity result. Oh, okay, it's not the identity result, it's a sign-in result. Okay, there isn't the same thing. Okay. So now it seems to be a little bit better. I have my response objects everywhere, so it's more nicely documented. So let's see here now. I shall have. So I can. Okay. So this should be okay. GPS session ID. Session ID for who's that? How it's written in English. Let's rephrase. Get occasions for this specific session. Returns GPS locations for session. Returns GPS locations for session. Something like this, and maybe I need also those produces, consumes. Now even more, I even have the bad request also. So this is a list of GPS location. No, it's a numero. Add request. So it's the message DTO. So I can grab that one from somewhere here. Let's make it a little bit better. So let's add a constructor here. It's just the one. String messages. So this is messages equals messages. Can I do something with this? So I list, and this is a, yeah, that should be okay. So we can actually do it like this. I passed it here. What? Why? How it's done? No, I don't object the messages. No. There is special syntax for it, which I can't remember out of my head. Let's see. It's params. So like this. Yep. This one is okay. So it's a new message detail, and it takes just one parameter, which is bad request. So this cannot be a null. So then I also need to validate that it exists. If context GPS sessions it's actually async. No, it's not async, it's a wait. Any async. It's the session bound ID equals GPS session ID. So if this is wrong, if this one doesn't exist, then go to hell. With ID. Whoop. Okay, this is okay. So this is also low anonymous. Basically the same stuff. This one I want to be binded from the body. Let it come from whatever. So this produces just a single GPS location. Okay, there is no bad request here, unless I make it nullable. Okay, new something. New message detail. Okay, best location not found. With ID. So this one also needs comments. Get single best location. Returns GPS location. ID. Get the single GPS location. Don't need this. So this is already now protected one. Update GPS location. So this one is a create a new create / add a new GPS location. This one is a location info. Because GPS location. Not urban V. Check if data browser has specific Okay, let's see, build. Okay, location types and session has problems. Let's see what it looks like. So I don't want to authorize it. I just want to see what the GPS location. Yes, I have comments. GPS session ID a query. Yep, okay. Nice. I have nice types now here. Okay, this looks okay. Yeah, basically I need to do the same stuff everywhere, so I need to comment them all nicely. Yes. Login data, yeah, that one goes to the request body, okay. Yeah. Okay, this seems okay. Let's see GPS location, if it's a post. Yeah, that one goes to the request body. Okay. Seems to be nice. Yep, everything here is also nice. Login DTO, GVT response DTO, nullable true. What is this GVT response? It's definitely not nullable. Oh, maybe that one. The Swagger probably doesn't understand the nullable types, so maybe I have to write this here. So this is required. That one also. So those are inputs. And this one is also required. Let's see what else is here. Register detail. Nullable true. No, it's not true. So let's rerun it. Yep, now it's required. Okay, those annoying nullables. Need to fix those. Let's see, in domain, GPS session. So description. This is required. This one is required. Application type. This one is required. This one is required. Location, it's okay. Identity abuser. Okay, this one is required. This one is required. Approve. Display name, that one is also required. Kind of annoying, but what can you do? Okay. Yes, seems to be okay. So let's publish it. Git commit them. Interesting to any the migration. Just in case, let's try to add a new migration. attribute. Do I get some kind of change? Shouldn't be, hopefully. Yep, that's empty. So there are no changes in the database. So I can just remove that one. Okay, should be okay. So let's do that. So okay, almost okay, or probably it's already usable. There's only a few issues with security, most definitely. So these session controllers. Okay, I'm missing the XML comments, that let it be. Get GPS sessions. Okay, this is anonymous, you will return everything. Single GPS session also. But this one here most definitely needs a checking. So if you update the session, you shall not post the user ID here, and the user ID should be taken from the currently logged in user. So even if it's there, let's do this GPS session dot where's the app user ID equals user dot user ID. The same thing. Okay, here it is already done. Delete. Here also I need to check that actually this belongs to the disk user. So let's do some quick checking here. Let's improve them later on. So if context GPS sessions dot any async, so we will await. So it says session dot ID equals ID. So this goes even in front of here. No, I can do it on better one. So if ID is null, then no, that one cannot be null. Okay, let's put back here. Let's write it in like this. This equals first or default async. Session.id equals ID, and session dot app user ID equals user dot user ID. So this is a little bit better. So you can only delete your own session and nothing else. Post is okay. So that one also here probably needs some kind of checking, because here you can hijack somebody else's session if you use the wrong ID. So if you use the session ID which does not belong to you, then you can overwrite in database somebody else's session. So that one is also fixing, but mostly it should be okay. So let's see, was it actually deployed correctly? So it's here. Yes, RESTful API and docs. Yep, sure. Seems to be. Yeah, nice. So let's broadcast to the chat that it's done. Where is our chat? Okay, and I should write the rest of the comments here. So let's fix those few security issues here. And where's my background beat? Okay, what is problem here? Let's see, and let's do them one by one. So get GPS sessions. So this is public. Everybody can read all those GPS sessions. Not a problem. Maybe it should have some kind of date time limit. So for what range? But initially it's not a problem. The base is not that huge. So let's comment everything nicely here. So get all the GPS sessions. Returns. What is this returns actually? Is it something specific? Let's see. So what do they mean by this returns? The sum of two integers. So it's a description. Okay. Array of GPS sessions. Okay, then it also needs those nice attributes. So it produces what? Whoa, come back. So it produces, it doesn't consume anything. And it produces basically only 200 OK. And what it does is this type of that one. Okay, that's nice. So that one produces, consumes, doesn't consume, produces, yes, this one. It produces a type of recession. And it can produce not found with this message TTO, so it's a new message TTO with this GPS session with ID not found. So I want to interpolate the string. Okay, put, that's the update for the GPS session. Theoretically, you almost shouldn't be able to do that one, but maybe. So just in case, let it be. Oh, I'm missing the XML comments here. Summary. Get the single GPS session. What's this param? Param. Param in a double precision number. Okay. Param name ID. GPS session ID. Returns. GPS session object. yes, yeah, okay, that's okay. So this is the put. Okay. This one does everything. So the put actually consumes, produces, and no, it produces, doesn't produce anything, so it's no content actually. Yep, it's a bad request. Okay. Message detail. So that one, the problem is an ID and GPS session dot ID do not match. So this put is an update. So I basically need to check that this actually belongs to the logged in user. So if await context dot GPS sessions any async s dot id has to be equal to the id and s dot app user id has to be equal to the user dot user id. So if this is not found, okay, also can be a bad request. Current user does not have session with this ID. Otherwise, if it's okay, then let's put this session back. Yeah, that's okay. Summary. Update the GPS session. What doesn't return? Does not return anything. ID. Session ID. GPS session object. Something like this. Post GPS session. Okay, what's here? What does it produce actually? Created that action. So the value is GP. Okay, the result is the object. Okay, let's see. So it is a GPS session if it's an okay. Can it get also some kind of bad request? No, shouldn't be. Yes, produces and consumes JSON, yeah, that's okay. So it's a post the new GPS session. Okay, delete. Delete the GPS. Also delete all the GPS locations for this session. Paraname ID, session ID to delete. Returns. So it checks for the ownership of the ID and existence. So it can produce whatever. Doesn't consume but produces application JSON. Return, so the type is actually this GPS session, and this is OK. So it's deleted, and it can be not found with the new message DTO. GPS session with ID something wasn't found. Okay, not found. Okay, bad request isn't there, but 404 is there. Okay, this is probably not found. So bad request not found. And finally it's no content, so that's 200 up. Oh, it's status 204, no content. Let's see. What's this? Yep. Okay, can be that one. Oh, there's also this. Okay. Yep, seems to be. Okay, now I only have the GPS location types controller to fix. So let's do it. How hard can it be? So the location types actually is allow anonymous and okay. So account controller, let's add those nice types everywhere. Now basically I can add them everywhere, so I'll just add them and fix them. Okay, this one produces ion blah blah. This one type of this. 404 isn't there, that one isn't there. Interesting. Do I need to have this? Let's see, again I have here the so it can produce something like this. So it can be produced this unauthorized, basically everywhere. So maybe this one is nice to have there. It's not actually everywhere, but almost. So we'll see. So it produces that one, and this is it, what it produces. So it can be OK. Oh, sorry. So this is allow anonymous, that's okay. So this is also low anonymous. Produces, doesn't consume. This is the single location. Can be not found. Add request, it cannot be. So this is the new message DTO, which is the what? GPS location type not found. And otherwise it's an OK. Let's see those also just in case. And this is also an OK. Is nicer. So this one is also an OK. Created app is okay. This is OK. Let's see here. So this is also an OK. And that one is also OK. Okay, here is the not found. New message DTO. Okay, I'm still working on it. I know this is commented already. Okay. Okay, this is what now? Get location types. List of GPS location types. Get the predefined GPS location types. Collection. So those are the regular location update, waypoint, checkpoint. Okay, this is alright. So this one here produces yes, and now the comments. So this is the GPS location type. ID returns requested GPS location type. Get single GPS location type. Okay, this is anonymous. So now again, this is limited to the row, so only admin can actually update the location type. Alright, this is nice. So when it's okay, then it returns no content. So plus status 204 no content. Bad request. Okay, new message detail, ID and GPS location type ID do not match. There is no owner here, so this is okay. So if it's not found, then it's a new message detail. Actually, this, let's return this one. Add request, not found. Yeah, seems to be okay. Everything is here. So this is on what post. I create a new one. So it produces and consumes. Oh, that one doesn't. Okay, it still produces. Yeah, that's true. Yes, 200. Type of, yeah, that's the single one here. And yes, there is no check here, so it's basically, if it's validates, then it's okay. And only admin can do it. Okay, and the same with the delete, so only admin can actually do it. So it returns the OK from here. So it is the GPS location type and can be 404. New message DTO. GPS location type not found. Boom, boom, boom. Seems to be okay. Yep, seems to be okay. Let's build, rebuild it. Yeah, build it. What? Didn't I write all the comments? No. So it's an update the GPS location type. What does it return? Nothing. Okay. Post GPS location type. Create a new GPS location type. GPS location type object. Returns what? Returns. Create a GPS location type object. Oh, delete also. Okay, this is private, this one doesn't need a comment. Okay, let's rebuild it again. Okay, now I'm rid of warnings, finally. So let's commit it. XML Comments and Swagger docs. Git push. Cool! It's done! Hopefully. So now I need to write the test client for it and actually go and see that it works. So just now it's more or less theoretical. I do not have any real clients here. So I need to switch horses and go to the Android Studio and write the client against it. So this is not the JavaScript client, so I don't have any public web here. So it's purely just Android client. Although I could generate a few web controllers just to list the data, but what's the point? So if I do, or when I do, I definitely do it. I will do a full-blown nice web front end for it. So and nobody will never ever create those thingies manually. So there is no point actually even generating those controllers. So I will just work with my backend. So basically my kind of really simple business logic is done. Most definitely I need to work with security a little bit more and really think through, do I do everything here correctly? So, and I'm missing a lot of business logic, especially with those location types controller. So I need to actually update the session information when the new location arrives. So I need to work on that one. So this is for the next leg, and also I need to implement all the repositories and business logic layer and mappers and stuff like that. So this is definitely not nice that I do not have any DTOs, that I'm using my business logic objects directly. This is really bad practice, but since it's already 11 o'clock in the evening and lesson starts at 9 o'clock in the morning, I just do not have enough time to implement everything really correctly. So the bare minimum is there and working. And let's see, it really should work. Hopefully. So let's see, it's sport map.cover.com. Yes, I have nice comments here. Oh, this one it's definitely fixing because it doesn't do it. So let's fix that one. since I removed all the cascade deletes everywhere, so I need to put this specific one back. So relationship builder model. So let's see how it's done typically. So it's somewhere here. So like this. So it's a builder dot entity. Which entity it is? It's a GPS session. It has many. So it has many entity post. It depends which way I want to look at it. So it's a GPS session, has many GPS locations with one GPS session. No. Oh, sorry, it's a generic. But now has many entity post. Hey, sorry, that's so many. I don't need so many definitions here. GPS session has many. Okay, I can write that it has one. But no. GPS location. What's the idea here? Has one floor with many. So theoretically this one has one. But this is weird. So this has one app user most definitely. Oh, who the hell? What the hell I'm writing here? This is all I need. What I'm doing wrong? Oh, sorry. Those are already totally different thingies. My bad, sorry. Entity has many. One GPS session has many locations. GPS locations. Every entity post has one. Yes, I need to specify both ways. So that one has width 1. So this one is the location, which has the GPS session. Which has the on delete. What's wrong with you? Possible non-reference. Go to hell. On delete. And now this is delete behavior cascade. So like this. You need to specify both ends of the, not always, but here I need to specify both ends from GPS session to the has many. So one GPS session has many locations, and back from the locations has one GPS session. And what should happen when I delete this GPS, when I delete the, like the example here, when you delete the post, then when you delete the blog, the post shall be killed. So this should be it. And doesn't matter which way you describe the relationship, either it's from the session to the location or from the location to the session, it's exactly the same thing finally. So enable cascade delete on GPS session to GPS location, like this. And now this one needs a migration, so let's add one. So let's see, what do we get? Let's see. Drop foreign key, had a new foreign key, principal table sessions, principal column ID, referential table locations. Yeah, should be it. Yeah, nice. So let's update once again. Git that. Git commit. And git push. Probably should be tested, just in case, but that should be okay. Yes, no, it should be it, I think. Because all the other ones should not have the cascade delete. So most definitely when you delete the location type, it should also delete all the GPS locations. But this is bad idea, so you better do not allow it. So you first have to manually clear out all the GPS locations, and only then can you delete the location type. Otherwise it will be really easy to kill the whole database of locations. So let's not allow that one. So that seems to be the only cascade delete I actually need. Everything else is more or less manual. And okay, theoretically I could also have the cascade delete from the user to the GPS session. So if the user is removed, then the session is also removed. But that one needs a little bit thinking. Maybe soft delete is there better. So everything else seems to be okay. What's this? Field can be made read-only, absolutely. Okay, username provider. Yeah, I can even say something like this here. That maybe it's nullable. Yeah, maybe it should be nullable, just in case that maybe somebody wants to skip it. No, make it mandatory, go to hell. So, it seems to be. So now I need to write the Android, and hopefully everything is okay here, so I don't need to come back here and fix, or if I do have to, then I do have to. So I'll stop the recording here, and then I make a new recording of me trying to figure out how to write an Android client for it, at least some kind of. So this is for the distributed side. So we have gone, I have done the modeling, DB context, and all the versioning and Swagger documentation and XML comments and stuff like that. Now I only need to tackle the repository and BLL and mappers. So far, so good.